right, let's do this. Today we are going to do a deep dive into The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod.
Oh, fantastic choice.
Yeah, I know our listeners are all about self-improvement, and getting things done.
Absolutely.
So I think they'll find this one really fascinating.
Yeah.
And Elrod's personal story is pretty incredible.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. He was actually declared clinically dead for 6 minutes
Oh, wow.
after a car accident when he was only 20.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and if that wasn't enough,
Wow.
he later rebuilt his entire life from scratch after having a major financial setback.
Talk about resilience.
Yeah.
So, this guy obviously knows a thing or two about overcoming challenges and designing a life that you love.
Yeah, no kidding.
So let's get into it. What exactly is the miracle of the Miracle Morning?
Well, Elrod's central idea is that a structured morning routine can dramatically improve both your personal and your professional life.
Okay.
He argues that most of us, start our days reactively.
Yeah, I can see that.
We hit the snooze button,
Uh-huh.
we rush around, we basically let the day control us.
Right, instead of you being in control.
Exactly, yeah.
So instead of just accepting that chaotic morning scramble,
Right.
he's proposing that we do something different.
Yes,
It's called the Savers Framework.
the SAVERS
I'm
framework.
already intrigued.
Okay.
So let's unpack this. What are these Savers all about?
SAVERS is an acronym which stands for silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing.
Okay.
Each element is designed to target a specific area of personal growth and set you up for a successful day.
So it's not just about gulping down coffee and checking your email first thing.
No, it's much more intentional than that.
It's about intentionally starting your day with activities that really nourish you.
Yes.
Your mind, body, and spirit.
Exactly.
I like
But what's
that.
really fascinating is that each ethers element has a ton of research backing up its benefits.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For example, the S for silence,
Okay.
whether it's meditation, prayer, or just quiet reflection.
Uh-huh.
This allows your mind to declutter,
Okay.
reduces stress.
Makes sense.
And there are a growing body of scientific evidence showing that even just a few minutes of mindfulness can significantly lower those stress hormones and really boost your focus.
Yeah, it's like hitting the reset button on your brain before you dive into all the demands of the day.
Yeah, like a clean slate.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like that.
And then we have the A for affirmations.
Okay.
Now, some people might be a little skeptical about this one.
Yeah, I can see that.
It can feel a little cheesy, if you're not used to it.
Right.
But the idea is actually grounded in cognitive behavioral principles.
Okay.
By consciously replacing that negative self-talk with positive statements,
Uh-huh.
you can actually rewire your subconscious mind.
So instead of thinking, "Ugh, I'm dreading this presentation today, it's,
Yeah.
I am confident and I'm going to do great."
Exactly.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And while repeating those positive phrases might feel a little odd at first,
Uh-huh.
it can be surprisingly powerful.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not about denying reality or pretending everything is perfect.
Right.
It's really about shifting your mindset towards a more positive and proactive outlook.
Okay.
And that can have a ripple effect on your actions
Yeah.
and ultimately your results.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
Next, we have V, which stands for visualization.
Okay.
This is a technique that's used by athletes, entrepreneurs, and high achievers across various fields.
Interesting.
By vividly picturing themselves succeeding,
Uh-huh.
they prime their minds for success and increase their motivation.
Yeah. It's almost like creating a mental blueprint for your goals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A mental rehearsal.
Yeah, and I know a lot of athletes use this, right?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
They visualize themselves,
Performing at their peak.
yeah, to boost their confidence.
Yeah, it's not about wishful thinking.
Uh-huh.
It's about training your mind to focus on that desired outcome and believe in your ability to achieve it.
Right.
And that brings us to E exercise.
Oh, yeah, the good old morning workout.
Got to get that heart rate up.
I have to admit, this was a struggle for me sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when that snooze button is calling my name.
I hear you.
But I always feel so much better when I do.
Oh, absolutely. And the science backs that up.
Okay.
Exercise has been proven to boost energy, improve mood, and even sharpen your cognitive function.
Wow.
It's like giving your brain a jolt of caffeine, but without the jitters.
I like it. Okay, so we've covered silence, affirmations, visualization, and exercise.
Right.
What do the last two savers have in store for us?
Okay, so R stands for reading,
Okay.
but not just any reading, mind you.
Okay.
Now, Elrod suggests focusing on personal development books,
Okay.
biographies of successful people, or anything that expands your knowledge and challenges your thinking.
I like it.
It's about feeding your mind with positive and inspiring content first thing in the morning.
I'm all about that lifelong learning.
Me too.
So I love that idea.
Yes.
And finally, S.
S stands for scribing.
Acha.
essentially means journaling.
Okay.
It's an opportunity to reflect on your goals,
Uh-huh.
practice gratitude, or simply clear your mind by getting those thoughts down on paper.
Yeah.
Journaling can be a powerful tool for self-awareness,
Okay.
helping you process emotions,
Uh-huh.
track progress, and identify patterns in your thinking.
Right. So we've got silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing.
There you go.
The Savior's Framework in all its glory.
Yes,
It's a pretty comprehensive approach to starting your day with intention and purpose.
it is.
But I imagine some people might be thinking, this sounds great in theory,
Yeah,
but what if I'm just not a morning person?
that's a common concern. And Elrod actually addresses that directly in the book.
Does he? Okay.
He does, yeah.
What does he say?
He introduces what he calls the 5-minute rule,
5-minute rule.
which is basically a way to outsmart your resistance to change.
Oh, tell me more about this 5-minute rule.
Okay, so the idea is simple.
Okay.
Even if you're not feeling motivated,
Yeah.
you just commit to doing 5 minutes of your miracle morning routine.
Just 5 minutes.
Just 5 minutes. And often that's all it takes to get the ball rolling.
Oh, I see. So you just trick your brain into getting started.
Exactly.
And then once you're up and moving, you're more likely to just keep going.
Yeah, totally. Like momentum.
Yeah.
And, speaking of motivation,
Yeah.
Elrod's overall message in the Miracle Morning is incredibly inspiring.
Okay.
He actually says you're one morning away from a different life.
That's a powerful quote.
It is?
I like that. But, let's be realistic.
Uh-huh.
Change doesn't usually happen overnight.
Right.
So did Elrod address that at all in the book?
He did. He actually dedicates a whole section to what he calls the 95% reality check.
Okay.
Basically, he points out that, the vast majority of people settle for mediocrity,
Yeah.
not because they lack the talent or the opportunity,
Uh-huh.
but because they just haven't developed those consistent, intentional habits
Right.
that really separate the high achievers from the rest.
So it's not just about wishing for a better life.
No.
It's about taking action.
Yes.
And creating that daily routine that supports your goals.
Yes, and one of the things that I found really helpful in the analysis
Okay.
was how they broke down each Savior's element
Okay.
and showed how it's not just a random collection of activities.
Okay.
Each one is very strategically designed to target a specific area of personal growth.
Like, for instance.
So, for example, silence helps reduce stress and improve focus,
Okay.
while affirmations boost confidence and rewire those negative thought patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got visualization, which enhances motivation and goal setting.
Yeah.
Exercise improves your energy, your mood, and even your cognitive function.
Right.
Reading expands your knowledge and inspires new ideas.
Okay.
And scribing promotes self-awareness. It helps you track your progress.
Yeah, it's like a holistic approach
It is.
to personal development,
Yeah.
all packed into your morning routine.
Exactly.
So I'm curious about the whole, waking up early thing.
Uh-huh.
What about people who are naturally night owls?
Yeah,
Do they have to become early birds to benefit from this?
that's a great question. And actually, while Elrod does strongly advocate for waking up early,
Okay.
he also acknowledges that not everyone is wired that way.
Okay.
The key is to find a time that works best for you
Okay.
and create a consistent routine around it.
So it could be an early morning routine
It could be, yeah.
or a midday routine.
Yeah, or even an evening routine.
Oh, interesting.
The important thing is to carve out that dedicated time
Okay.
for personal growth
Yeah.
and make it non-negotiable.
I like that. So it's not about forcing yourself into a mold. It's about adapting the principles to fit your own individual needs and preferences.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And what about this whole thing with community and accountability?
Oh, yeah, that's another important aspect of the
Oh,
book.
great.
Elrod really emphasizes the importance of community and accountability.
Okay.
He encourages readers to find what he calls a miracle morning buddy
Okay.
or join a group of like-minded individuals
Okay.
so you can support each other.
Yeah, because having a support system can really make a good difference, I think,
Oh, absolutely.
when it comes to building new habits and staying motivated.
Yes, especially when you're first starting out.
It's a lot easier, I think, to stick with a routine
Yeah.
when you know you have others who are going through the same thing
For sure.
and cheering you on.
Totally. And that social connection can really provide a sense of belonging
Mm-hmm.
and shared purpose,
Right.
which can really enhance the whole experience.
Yeah. Okay, so what about that 30-day life transformation challenge?
Right. So that's designed to help you implement the SAEJ's framework
Okay.
and make it a sustainable part of your life.
And it's broken down into phases, right?
It is. Yes.
Unbearable, uncomfortable, and unstoppable.
That's it.
I like that. So those first few days might feel unbearable as you're
Yeah.
adjusting to a new routine,
Yeah,
pushing past your comfort zone.
right,
But then it gradually becomes just uncomfortable.
right.
And finally, you reach a point where those habits feel
Yeah,
unstoppable.
you're on a roll.
Yeah,
It just becomes second nature.
I like that way of framing it. It's not about, being perfect right away.
No, it's a journey.
It's about making small, consistent steps in the right direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And recognizing that setbacks are a normal part of the process.
Yeah.
The key is to learn from those setbacks,
Yeah.
adjust your approach as needed,
Okay.
and just keep moving forward.
I like that.
Yeah.
One thing that I found really interesting is this idea that our morning routine really sets the tone for the entire day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
If we start our day feeling rushed and stressed and overwhelmed,
Yeah,
those feelings are probably going to carry over into everything else we do.
like a domino effect.
But if we can create that sense of calm and focus,
Yes.
intentionality right from the morning,
Yes.
it's more likely that we'll approach everything else in our lives with a more positive and productive mindset.
Totally. It changes everything.
And ultimately, that's what the Miracle Morning is all about, creating
Yeah.
a life that's more aligned with our values
Yeah.
and our aspirations.
It's about taking control of our days
Yeah.
rather than letting our days control us.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
The Savers framework, the importance of mindset, power of community, the 30-day challenge.
Yep.
But before we wrap up, I just want to bring this back to you for a minute.
Okay.
What are some of your initial thoughts on all of this?
Yeah, it's really interesting stuff for sure.
It sounds like you're pretty intrigued by the whole thing.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear that. So, what about you personally?
Uh-huh.
Which of these S-Stuff elements are you most drawn to?
I think for me, it's that S for silence.
Okay,
I could really use a bit more quiet reflection in my life, for sure.
makes sense. Yeah.
How about you?
I think I'm with you there. I like the silence part too.
Yeah.
But I think I'm a little intimidated by the affirmations.
Yeah, I get that.
It feels a little awkward.
Yeah, it could be a little cheesy,
Yeah,
but I guess, the whole point is to find what works for you
right.
and adapt it.
Right. No one's saying you have to do it exactly like Elrod lays it out in the book. It's a framework, right?
It is.
That you can tweak and adjust as needed.
Yeah.
What I thought was really interesting is that while he focuses primarily on morning routines,
Yeah.
I feel like these principles, of intentionality and structure could really apply to any part of the day.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, why just the morning?
Exactly.
What about the evening?
Yes, we've been talking so much about how to start the day off, right?
Yeah,
But what about ending the day
right.
in a way that sets you up for restful sleep and a positive mindset for the next day?
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Like bookending your day with intentionality.
Exactly.
Yeah, because we often focus so much on like productivity and goals
Yeah,
that we kind of forget about the importance of just like winding down and recharging.
totally. So let's play with this idea for a second.
Okay.
What if we created like a nighttime savers routine?
Okay, I'm listening.
So like, for example, for silence could become a time to disconnect from your devices, dim the lights,
Okay.
and maybe even like practice some gratitude, for the good things that happen during the day.
Yeah, instead of scrolling through social media or like watching TV until you fall asleep.
Exactly. Yeah, you're intentionally creating a much more calming and reflective space to transition into sleep.
Right. I love it. Okay, so A for affirmations.
Yeah, maybe that becomes about acknowledging your accomplishments from the day
Uh-huh.
or focusing on those positive qualities you want to cultivate in yourself.
Right.
So instead of, I will crush that presentation tomorrow, it's more like, I showed up fully today and I'm proud of the effort I put in.
Yeah, like a little pat on the back.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, I like that. What about visualization?
Instead of picturing future success,
Yeah.
maybe you spend a few minutes just visualizing yourself, letting go of any stress or worries from the day.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, just releasing that tension.
Okay, and then instead of intense exercise,
Yeah?
you could be some gentle stretching
Yes.
or a relaxing walk.
Perfect.
They help you de-stress and prepare for sleep.
Exactly.
Okay.
R for reading? Yeah, maybe that becomes a time to escape into a good novel.
Okay.
Or read something inspiring.
Uh-huh.
That'll leave you feeling positive and optimistic before you drift off to sleep.
Nice. I like it. And then scraping for scribing.
Scribing could become like a brain dump, where
Gotcha.
you jot down any lingering thoughts, to-dos, or worries that might be keeping you awake.
Right. Get it all out on paper.
Exactly. Clear your mind.
So you can sleep.
Exactly.
This is really making me rethink my whole evening routine. I
Yeah.
tend to just like collapse on the couch after dinner
Uh-huh.
and just mindlessly scroll on my phone,
I hear you.
until I fall asleep.
Yeah, we all do it.
But I can see how much more restful my sleep would be
Yeah,
if I actually did this and had a wind down routine.
absolutely. It's like giving your mind and body the signal
Mm-hmm.
that it's time to switch from go mode to rest
I
mode.
like that.
Yeah.
So it all comes back to that core message of intentionality, right? We
Yes.
really have the power to design not just our ideal morning,
Uh-huh.
but our ideal entire day from the
Yes.
moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep.
Exactly. So whether you're an early bird or a night owl,
Uh-huh.
a productivity enthusiast, or someone who just wants more peace and balance,
Yeah.
the Miracle Morning really offers a powerful framework
Uh-huh.
for personal growth and transformation.
And it's not about being perfect.
No, not at all.
It's about making those small, consistent choices
Right.
that lead to those bigger changes.
Over time.
And
Exactly.
we don't have to do it alone,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely not.
Finding that community,
Yeah.
whether it's a Miracle Morning group or a group of friends.
Or just one accountability partner
Yeah.
can make all the difference.
So as you go about your day, think about those small changes you can make to
Yeah.
create a more intentional and fulfilling life.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's trying one of those Savers elements.
Yeah.
Maybe it's finding an accountability partner
Uh,
or creating that calming evening routine that we were just talking about.
yeah, just start small.
Remember, those small steps can lead to some really remarkable results.
They really can. And remember, you know,
Yeah,
it's not about striving for that unattainable ideal of perfection.
right.
It's about finding what works for you,
Mm-hmm.
experimenting and making those gradual, sustainable changes
Yeah,
that enhance your well-being
right.
and help you live a life that feels aligned and authentic.
You have the power to design your day,
Do you mean?
ultimately your life. So
Exactly.
start small, stay consistent, and embrace the journey.
I love it.
You might just surprise yourself with what you can achieve.